Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I created a VLOOKUP tutorial a month ago, I think it was, for anyone who wanted to know how to use VLOOKUP, or mainly it's for beginners who want to know how to use VLOOKUP. But this time I thought I'll create another tutorial just for someone who doesn't know their way around Excel, just to show them the basics, really, just to see their way around Excel. So I've already opened up the Excel page. If you don't know how to find this, it should be either from the start menu, or if you're using a Mac, it will be from the applications. You can look for Microsoft Office from the applications, or if any other computer, you can look for it from the start menu and open it from there. So I've already opened the page, and here it is. So I'll just start from the top. So what you have at the top are what's called tabs. So you've got the home tab, you've got the insert tab, you've got the draw tab, and so on and so forth. Mainly for me, what I've used so far in dealing with data, I'm usually using either the home tab, or where I'll enter the data, whether I'm copying and pasting or using the wrap text, which I'll explain later, probably in a different tutorial. Or I'm either using the insert tab, where I'm looking for pivot tables. Yeah, mainly pivot tables from here. Or data tab, which is the one that I use often. Either I'm using the filter tab. On data, I'm using the filter, or sorting out data, or text columns, which I'll also explain in a different tutorial. But at the top, what you've got are tabs. And every time you open a tab, as you can see, it opens up this. So this is different from every tab that you open. Now this is called a ribbon. So from every tab, it will have a ribbon underneath. And that's just a terminology that you might find in Excel, and that just explains what it is. So on here, what we have here is a worksheet. So a worksheet can be named underneath here. Now we've just got what says sheet 1, but we can rename it if we want to. So I'm just going to rename it to Monday. And then you've got a plus tab here. So if you want to open another worksheet, you can rename it as well, so that you've got a reference if you're referring to that particular worksheet. Maybe if you've made any changes and you're sending it to someone, and they know where the data is if they need to refer to it. So I'll just rename this Tuesday. And different worksheets will create what's called a workbook. So these two worksheets have now created what's called a workbook. So I'll go to the first worksheet, which is the Monday. At the top here, this is called a column. The vertical is called the column. And when you click the horizontal, it's called a row. So the intersection between the column and the row is what's called a cell. Now this is important to note, because whenever you're creating formulas, you will refer to the cells. So if you're adding this particular data that's in this particular cell, let's say there's 45 here and there's 54 here, and you need to create a formula, you'll be adding cell A1 and cell A2. Just as an example. So you've added this cell. So as you can see on the answer here, it's referring to the cell, the sum of A1, this cell, and that cell. So I'm just going to remove that. That was just an example. And then I'm just going to enter simple data in here, just to show you how we enter data. So I'm I've picked up data that's from a statistics page on students who've enrolled in primary school and students who've enrolled, the number of students who've enrolled in secondary school. This is data from 2016 in Malawi. So I'll just enter that. Now, as you can see here, this word primary school enrollment is spanning over 2 cells. It appears as if it's in 2 cells, but really it's just in the first cell, but it's displayed as if it's in 2 cells. So if you want it to display in the actual cell, you can double click on here, so it extends the cell, or you can just drag it if you want to. So below here, I'll enter the boys and the number of boys that are enrolled for that particular year. And then we enter the number for the girls. So the way I'm moving around the cells, you can either click on the cell in order to get to it, or if you're going down, you can click enter. You can press enter on your keyboard. And if you're going horizontal, you can press tab on your keyboard. That will help you move around the cells. So I'm clicking using my mouse. So girls, the number was 2,559,845. And there you go. That's just your simple data entered. And if you want to, just as an example that I showed earlier, just to show the cells, the importance of cell references when you're creating a formula, I'll add the 2 cells, this one and that one. So the equal sign is what you will need to enter usually when you're creating a formula. So enter that, and then you go at the top, you select the formula tab, and then you go to the ribbon, which is the insert function ribbon. Once you get there, you select the sum, because what you're doing is adding. So you select that and select insert function. And done. And that will give you the answer there. And just to refer back to the cell references, once I click in there, it will show the sum B3. So this is the cell. That's the reference of the cell. And B4, that's the reference of the cell. So imagine that you had a lot of data that had a lot of numbers, and you just wanted to simplify the way they appear on the spreadsheet. Like this is 7,763,566. If you wanted to just appear as 7 point something million, you can change that. So I just give another formula. Oh, I'll go back because I didn't explain. So what you do is you right click on your mouse and select format cells, and then you go to custom, and on here you change that. So you type 0.00 comma comma, and then inverted commas, million, and there you go. It will just show 7.65 instead of the whole number. That just helps out clean up the data a little bit so that it's not overwhelming for someone who's reading it. But once they click on the cell, they should be able to, once they click on these cells, they should be able to see these numbers. Okay, so I'll come back with more tutorials on Excel later. Thank you. Bye.